Dear welfare bureaucrats, economics is a social science, but too many economists, often relatively well off, forget about the social part of it. They are happy to be rather focused on some abstract theories or hard growth numbers, conveniently avoiding one of the most challenging questions for any mutually responsive community: how to make people's lives financially easier. Would it be enough for low wage workers to have a chance to earn a living wage by raising minimum pay significantly above the poverty line? Or should we rather give everybody free money, labeled as the universal basic income? Suddenly, as the pandemic has made painfully clear that most of our jobs face a reality of unpredictable, temporary or permanent disruption, all these challenging questions appear not only socially important, but also politically critical. Why? Because both lack of income and too low wages are terrifying, exhausting, and shame inducing, representing a painful affront to our basic human dignity. And experiencing these depressing feelings can have serious mental and physical consequences. Just as cancer invades the body, economic insecurity invades our minds, leaving us with much less to give to the rest of life. But when we feel needed and valued, we are more likely to tend to ourselves. And yes, having enough money makes us much less unhappy. Obviously, there is a huge number of opponents to both concepts of living wage and universal basic income, arguing very strongly that easy and free money makes us lazy and that people living in poverty can't handle money. They also claim that either these financial benefits have to be unrealistically low or the economic costs of financing them unacceptable high. Except that, according to the global evidence, they are simply wrong. Firstly, raising minimum wages has far less negative impact on the job market than standard economics were predicting. Secondly, free money is much cheaper and much more effective than traditional forms of social security and development aid. And thirdly, when people get free cash with no strings attached, the vast majority of them put the money to good use. And they still want to work because not having a job makes us, humans, deeply unhappy. Free money is not for nothing, and it works. It also represents a critical step towards personal growth and financial solvency of our deeply troubled families. But I would like to add another equally important point to this growing list of supporting arguments. The prime macroeconomic goal for any national economy is to help its people to be globally competitive and to thrive. Therefore, our role as the modern economists is to assist politicians in designing a very different welfare state for the future. Let's restrict austerity measures and never-ending taxation of everything as the only way to finance our basic civil rights. Instead, let's ever insist on a very different and much more entrepreneurial way of governing our national economies. It's time to take care of our own people, starting with the elimination of all political and bureaucratic absurdities. Poverty is not about individual stupidity. It's about our group human and economic failure.